Private eyes, or should I say, fellow travelers. We're in Alameda, California today, baby. We are at the Alameda Naval Air Station that was a formal naval and aviation military base that sits on the top of the San Francisco Bay and the Pacific Ocean. It began operations during the beginning of World War II back in 1940. It does compromise of a larger airfield, it docks for aircraft carriers such as the USS Hornet, and extensive manufacturing facilities. It was fully operational and thus provided employment for thousands of local residents that served underneath the military. It was one of the most largest and most complete naval air stations in the world during its time. Due to its convenient location sitting right on the San Francisco Bay and Pacific Ocean, it played a key role in the Doolittle Raid on Japan following the attack of Pearl Harbor in World War II. Due to a decrease in demand after its heavy usage in World War II and the Cold War era, it was officially closed and abandoned in 1997 and sits there to this day. Now is our opportunity to go ahead and indulge and just sit back and enjoy the beautiful, dilapidated, and abandoned property that sits there to this day. Enjoy, y'all. So the most insane and suspicious thing that crossed my mind while exploring this property was why hasn't the city of Alameda nor any real estate investors made any moves to redevelop this land that sits on one of the most wealthy areas in the entire world? My prediction is because it's sitting at 33 feet of elevation, Alameda barely clears sea level, and much of the town sits on landfill. With the combo of a rising sea level, it might make development problematic. It would be an absolute nightmare for this proximity if an earthquake did come through the Bay Area ever again. This exact area is also rumored to be extremely polluted from constant military usage back in the day. Motor oil and jet fuel galore remains intact deep into the dirt. It's also rumored that various radioactive and nuclear experimentations were conducted on these grounds during the World War II era, making these grounds potentially very harmful for the long. Yeah, man, this was a full-on community, dude. It has everything. It has convenience stores, it has a school, it even has a church. It probably even served the community back in the day when this property was actually active. The residents living here. The history is just amazing. So my only guess to what this building is right here is it does scream school, right? It totally looks like it to me. So this is probably where the naval and the aviation troops went to for their studies before they were sent out into the field for the nitty-gritty work that they were about to prepare for. Different schemes and tactics and overall game plan for different battles and wars were probably conducted right here on these very grounds. One other thing I did find interesting about this exact lot was they did a much better job at preserving it. It did not seem as dilapidated or beat up as the other lots I was checking out. Lesser access points is my only guess to why that is. Looks like warehousing over here, maybe storage, maybe mechanical shops back in the day. Not quite sure what it was. Oh my God, look at that roofing just completely caved the hell in. Yo, Private Eyes, do you mind if you guys take the wheel real quick while I take a quick 2-minute intermission? I'll let that synth wave bump throughout your speakers during the meantime. So I also wanted to point out a fun fact about this exact property that we are driving on right now. This is referred to as the Alameda Point Collaborative to this day. In 1999, 2 years after the Alameda Naval Base had been abandoned and vacant, the station troops, they would reside here. This was another form of housing, as there were many on the property that we just explored, but this would house a huge cluster of them. And now, the city of Alameda promoted a low-income housing program where low-income residents live on these exact grounds. It's quite low-key and quiet for a Section 8 property, so don't let this intimidate you if you want to come check out the point, and I highly recommend you do. Just thought that was a cool little piece of history. If you made it throughout this entire video, guys, if you could please hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, or even that share button, I would highly appreciate it. And subscribe and stay tuned for more in the future, guys. Right on. Thank you very much. Private Eye Travel Guy out, baby.